Hello. We are here to tell you a bit about the work of the Church Life Review Group. Our work was kicked off in the March of 2021 with Mission Council. This council considered some of the challenges facing the church, including the legacy of COVID, questions around how we deploy ministers of word and sacrament, the complexity of our church finances, and the number of volunteers we currently need to sustain our church at local, synod and national level. Everyone here, I'm sure, knows a little bit about the challenges facing the church, such as, the obvious one of church decline. But there's also a lot that we didn't know.
Welcome to sunny Milton Keynes, a city I came to last year when I moved house, synod, even nation. And alongside the various challenges that such a move can bring, it's been a bit of a fresh start for me, a chance for me to reconfigure a new way of life to go along with my new role and home. Will I live a kombucha drinking, quinoa eating, sourdough baking lifestyle, for example? Do I want to start the day with a dawn jog or end it with sunset salsa? What club shall I join? Which church shall I call home? How will I spend my time, money and energy that I might live life in all its fullness? And alongside the question of thriving has come the mere issue of survival. For in recent years I turned 40. Hard to believe, I know. But whilst my age still makes me one of the youngest at most church events, I'm very aware that I've now entered the decade in which my mum died. So I've been wondering if there are adjustments in my lifestyle that I need to make in order to simply aid my longevity. Do I need to exercise and sleep more? Drink more water? Less wine, perhaps? All of this is to say that I've booked myself in for one of those over 40, all over medical checkups, so I can find out what is working well, what isn't, and what changes I can make to improve things. And this is how I see the Church Life Review Group's work. It's a kind of denominational medical checkup where we can find out what is working well and what isn't, what is aiding our survival and what is curtailing it, what tweaks we can make in order to improve things for all of us. It's a chance for us to consider how shall we now live so that we might survive and thrive as a church family for the good of the gospel.
So, what's the Church Life Review Group for? We're not the decision makers. In the URC, we make decisions at General Assembly. But we are preparing resolutions for General Assembly to consider about how we structure our governance, how we use our resources, and how we support local churches.
We're not going to come up with a blueprint for synods or local churches and tell you just to follow the instructions. Each church and synod needs to discern how it fulfills its own local mission. However, we will make recommendations about how we work together to enable that local mission to be pursued. We're working on 5 questions to inform those recommendations.
What drew me to want to be part of the Church Life Review Group is my interest in finding green shoots within the denomination that will foster justice on all levels. And as a group, we work towards the same. And in our thirst to see what is thriving or just surviving, we first engaged an organization called Theos to do some work about the life of the church. You might have already contributed to their work. They are doing work, some in-depth studies of a small number of local churches in diverse contexts. And they also sent a survey to church secretaries before Christmas. We expect this work to tell us about local flourishing as well as local challenges.
We've been looking in detail at the money, working with MKS, a firm of accountants who specialise in working with charities and other not-for-profit organisations. We've been looking at where we have resources as a church and how we use them. We're working with synod finance experts and others to understand the evidence we're seeing and explore the range of possible responses.
We think it is vital to reflect on what we have money for, not just how much we have. We have commissioned a range of thinkers to reflect on the theology of money, and we expect their reflections to be a prompt, not only for the Church Life Review Group, but also for the wider church.
We're grappling with the reality of being church in the 21st century, when organisations like the Charity Commission, the Office of the Scottish Charities Regulator and others expect much higher standards in the way we organise and manage ourselves. We know that matters like finance and safeguarding can be quite tricky for some local churches, and we're considering how we can deal with these requirements most effectively, for example, by pooling expertise.
And finally, we are looking at church structures. We are a conciliar church, which makes decisions in local church meetings, synod meetings, and at General Assembly. And that won't change. But that doesn't mean the supporting structures and committees are necessarily fit for the future.
So, what's next? We're still working through all of these different task areas, but we will have completed our report by April. We've benefited from input from across the church already, including the responses to the Jubilee questions that many of you guys would have sent to us, and of course the working sessions that we've had with synod moderators, and we're looking forward to more kind of sessions like this as we move forward and all of these different work streams continue. But it really has been a privilege and also quite a responsibility for us to be asked to take on this work on behalf of the church. And we pray, and we have been praying, and we will keep on praying that we can help the United Reformed Church face the future with confidence.